please. Woody, please.
Once again.
Woody to your left, please. Woody! Woody, behind you, please.
Commence comme sur le premier jour.
Please. Come, please. Here. Please.
Alors, pas ici. This way, please.
Tiffany.
Thank you very much.
Tiffany, over your shoulder, please. Tiffany. Just have one more stand, please. Please, well. Thank you. Thanks very much.
If you'd like to just pull up your chair now and sit down.
The Academy Awards I went to because many of us have been doing things after September 11th for New York City, and the Academy was nice enough to show a tribute to filmmaking in New York, and they called and asked if I would come and introduce this montage of film clips, and I would never say no to anything that would be helpful to New York or at any time, particularly since September 11th. Cannes is a different thing. Cannes, you know, the French people have been so supportive of my films for so many years and so affectionate toward me, and I've been invited to Cannes so many times, and I've shown so many films at the Cannes Festival out of competition, and I've never come. And I felt after many years that I wanted to, you know, give some gesture of reciprocity, some gratitude toward the French people for their years of support and their affection. And I felt that I should say yes once and come to Cannes. And I felt this particular picture would be a good picture to come with, because it's about movie making, and the Cannes audience in general is, of course, a cinema audience. So, but it's just a coincidence that both those events fell the same year. So it looks like I've had some kind of religious conversion, and that I'm suddenly out of the house. But I'm not. I'll be back in the house in a few hours, and you won't have to put up with me again. Yes, I think it's, we in the United States always find it very, very amusing and very endearing about the French that they have to discover our artists before we do. They have a long history of discovering American artists in literature, in the cinema, in jazz music, and appreciating them much beyond and much before Americans do. And we always find that to be very amusing and, as I say, very, very endearing. And I would say the same thing that I would say about relationships. You know, whatever works. You know, if you like a good steak now and then, and it makes you happy, that's great. I myself, as much as I love French cooking, could not eat a frog or a snake or, you know, horse meat or any type of vermin or dog or, you know, but if French people like that, then that's part of the culture, you know. I think it's great. It beats monkey brains. There are, you know, cultures that eat that. Is there another question that the films that come out are calculated in venality from the start. I mean, the idea behind the films is to make as much money as possible. If the film is good, that's incidental. They're very happy when the film comes out good, but they would be happier really making a bad film that made a lot of money than making a good film that made less money. So that's why you get all these films that come out of Hollywood, you know, that are uninspired because everybody is working, trying to figure out the formula to make the most amount of money with the least amount of risk. Believe in it, I've never felt that the French people in any way were anti-Semitic. I know a number of French Jewish people who live in France and certainly do not feel that way. And I think that the French country, that one can be very proud of the way they responded in the last election. The country really came out in a very, very clear-cut public statement about how they felt about issues like the extreme right and totalitarianism and intolerance and discrimination. And the country, people who had never voted in years felt it was important to show that France was a democracy who had no patience for the terrible ideas of the extreme right. And so I think one could be very proud of France for the way they've been, the way they acquitted themselves in the last election. And I don't think a boycott is in order. I just don't feel that it's right.